have this 2-into-1 setup, which, because I have it, it's bought, it's paid for, I'm gonna go with it. I was dilemmaed over going with like a CL sort of scrambler style on the other side, the 2 pipes that go this way, but because I have this, I'm gonna use it to start. I sort of put the question out there when I originally had this muffler installed for the startup video, and sort of what you see here kind of answers that. I sort of put it out there, you know, what do you guys think I should do muffler wise? The universal response was to kick it up on some level. There was some mention of, you know, coming right up and then going out the back. I think that works more with a monoshock style setup. And this particular muffler, which is one I used before, I didn't hate the sound of it. You know, it's a pretty basic muffler. It serves its purpose. Because I have it right now, I'm gonna use it to at least do a mock-up and put it in for now, but make it so that, you know, it'll have a universal mount that I could switch anything out. But for now, that's kind of the angle I'm looking at. So it's the 2-into-1, using the collector from the stock and then coming in and going up there. It all looks pretty straightforward until you kind of look at it from this angle. And that's kind of what I have to do today, is I have to figure out how to get this not only coming up on the angle, but getting it to flow out nicely. I don't want to reinvent the wheel, and this particular 2-into-1 piece is nice because it hugs around the frame. This actually, I should put a jack under that because it actually needs to come up. It tucks in there nicely. So probably what I think I'm going to do to start is just come out with this. Now I've grabbed a couple of sort of generic muffler pipes, just a reducer, 1 3/4 to 1 and I think it's a 1 3/4 inner to outer reducer, if I'm not mistaken, and I think this is 1 5/8. This is quite a large opening here coming out of the collector, and I pretty much want to get things universally the right size. So whatever muffler I sort of go with, what sits here is an easy slip-on thing, and this particular pipe fits that beautifully. This larger part of the reducer kind of coincides with that a little bit. I think I'm going to cut off most of it except for just the flange, so I'm going to have it reduced very quickly. This pipe fits into that nicely, so it'll make for a very snug fit and weld when I do it. But I think before I even get there, I'm just going to try and get this to come out on almost a 45-degree, not quite. And then on this, I'm actually going to try and cut it, because all this end is pretty rusty anyway and there's bits missing. So I'm not too concerned about that, but I am going to start to angle that out and see how I can manipulate this to sort of meet on and give me the cleanest, nicest connection possible. So guys, after sitting and just sort of staring at it for a little bit, I realized I'm gonna redo a couple things on this. Sort of take that out. If you fundamentally look at sort of the and I didn't really notice it when I was doing it, but now that it's on the bike, if you look at sort of this line, my piece here takes a bit of a nosedive off of it, and I feel like it needs to come up sort of more this way. I got to take off more of this and sort of get it in, so just it follows almost that line of this seam. So because it kind of if you sort of imagine that, and then and kind of this isn't on there perfectly, but I have, you know, it kind of comes out, and then I have this bend sort of coming up. You know, the bend happens this way, and I realized if this guy is coming up like that, I can sort of have it kind of more sit like that, where the bend happens on the inside back here, and it just makes for, it will make for a much smoother line, and that way this part, instead of coming out on the flat, is coming out angled up. So I think what I have to do, and you can even see it there like that, right? So I just wanted to kind of just come smooth like that. So I definitely got to fix this piece. So yeah, let me get that off and I'll bring you back. Okay, so after a shit ton of cutting and adjusting and recutting and readjusting, I think I've got it figured out. Check it out. So there, I just feel like that line finally looks better. It comes and it flows up and out, and you actually don't see the bend. Now the progression from this to this is on this plane is straight, and when you look up over top, that's where you see the two bends really in action, and I think that looks much more cool for this setup. Yeah, definitely way better. The one caveat of this is that on the inside here, I actually have a bigger hole. I'll have to slit it and close it in on the pipe, but that's in the back, so I'm less worried about the appearance of that when everything is said and done. So yeah, for anybody wondering why I'm not painting anything right now, it's just because the garage is just really cold. It's just that time of year, and to get the garage really nice and warm, I figured I'm gonna save everything up, get the garage just steaming hot, and sort of hit the paint all in one go. Right now I can get it warm enough for me to work comfortably in, but in terms of good paint adhesion and drying and all that stuff, I'm gonna save that up. And I still haven't decided if I'm just gonna do more paint on the frame or if I'm actually gonna strip it down and go to powder coating. And that may influence the decision of what things, you know, if I just go to powder coating just to save myself that aggravation, then I'm going to stuff like the headlight bracket and stuff. It's all just gonna go that route anyway. I kind of dig the muffler. I think it's a little Mad Maxy, which I think is going to be kind of cool for the direction of this bike. As always, guys, hit that like if you dug this video. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell if you want to stay up to date and get notifications. Leave a comment down below. Would love to hear from you what you think about your projects, everything else. And we'll talk to you next week, guys. Cheers.